Hi Midnight fans, this is Midnight Myra. Welcome back to my scary stories. The story for tonight is Mary Magdalene, possessed by 7 demons, a story of redemption and deliverance. By Mr. Lights Out. Chapter 1, The Woman in Darkness. Mary of Magdala was known for her beauty, wealth, and independence. Yet, beneath the surface, she was a woman in torment. Her nights were filled with voices, whispers in languages unknown, laughter that sent shivers through her bones. Shadows moved in the corners of her room, and her dreams were plagued with horrors she could not escape. No priest, no healer, no sacrifice had freed her from the unseen hands that gripped her soul. She could feel them inside her, 7 spirits that clawed at her mind, filling her with rage, despair, and terror. If you enjoy stories like this, know that I spend countless hours crafting these chilling tales just for you. Let me earn your subscription tonight and hit that bell, so you never miss the next terrifying adventure. I'll be ringing it too, every time a new story is ready to keep you on the edge of your seat. Now, let's dive back into the story. Then came the night she woke to find herself in the marketplace, barefoot and trembling, with no memory of how she had gotten there. A man selling fish recoiled at the sight of her, his eyes wide with fear. "Your eyes, they are not your own," he whispered. Something inside her smiled at his terror. As she looked around, a quiet voice inside her seemed to say, "This is the beginning of a journey that will change everything." What she didn't know then was that her life was about to transform in ways unimaginable. Chapter 2, The Demons Within. The 7 spirits inside Mary Magdalene were not merely whispers in the night. They were entities, ancient, malevolent, and insatiable. They had names. They had purpose. They had claimed her. Some nights, they filled her with uncontrollable rage. She would throw plates, shatter mirrors, and scream until her throat was raw. Other nights, she wept uncontrollably, consumed by despair so heavy it felt like drowning. Then there were the nights when something else spoke through her, words not her own, voices layered upon voices. She tried to fight them. She sought the help of temple priests, but they only muttered prayers that fell flat. She was too far gone. The spirits laughed at their feeble attempts. "You belong to us now," they whispered. And Mary began to believe them. The feeling of being trapped, of being swallowed whole by the dark forces inside her, was consuming. Yet little did she know, a moment was coming that would change everything. Chapter 3, The Stranger Who Spoke with Authority. Word spread through Magdala of a man, a rabbi, a miracle worker, someone who cast out spirits with a mere word. Mary had heard of him, but she did not believe such a thing was possible. Not for her. Then, one day, she found herself in a crowd, drawn by an unseen force. Jesus of Nazareth stood before them, his eyes filled with a kindness Mary had never known. But as soon as she saw him, her body went rigid. Her breath hitched. And then, "What do you want with us, Jesus of Nazareth?" A voice not her own snarled from her lips. The crowd gasped. Mary's hands clawed at her own throat as if something inside her was trying to stop the words. She fell to the ground, writhing, shrieking. The demons inside her had spoken. But Jesus did not flinch. He did not step away in fear. He stepped closer. And then he spoke the words that would shatter the darkness. "Come out of her." The words echoed, not just in the air, but deep within Mary's soul. She could feel the evil retreating, a battle being fought that only she could sense. Could this man be the one to free her? Chapter 4, The Battle for Her Soul. No one could see the battle that erupted in the spiritual realm that day, but Mary felt it. The 7 demons inside her screamed in fury. They clawed, they thrashed, they begged. "We have been here for years," one howled. "She is ours," another shrieked. But Jesus did not bargain. He did not falter. His voice cut through the air, unshakable, "Come out of her." Mary's body convulsed. Darkness filled her vision. And then, silence. She gasped as if breaking the surface after drowning. The weight was gone. The voices had vanished. For the first time in years, she was free. Tears streamed down her face as she looked up at Jesus. His hand was stretched toward her, steady and sure. "Go in peace," he said. And for the first time, Mary understood what peace truly meant. This moment marked the beginning of something far greater than just freedom from torment. It was a new chapter, a rebirth. Chapter 5, From Possession to Devotion. Mary Magdalene was no longer the woman she had been. She was no longer haunted, no longer broken. She was whole. She left everything behind, her past, her fears, her reputation, and followed Jesus. She became one of his most devoted disciples, walking alongside him as he healed the sick, fed the hungry, and taught of a kingdom greater than any on earth. The woman who had once been bound by demons now walked in the light of the Son of God. She knew her life had been forever transformed, but little did she know that the true test of her faith was still ahead. Chapter 6, The Witness to the Resurrection. Mary stood at the foot of the cross, watching the man who had saved her suffer and die. Blood stained the earth. The sky turned black. The world itself seemed to weep. For 3 days, she mourned. And then, just before dawn, she went to the tomb. She found it empty. Tears blurred her vision as she turned away. Then, "Mary." The voice was familiar. Warm. Alive. She turned and saw him. Jesus. Alive. Glorified. She fell to her knees. "Rabboni," she cried. He smiled. "Go, tell my brothers." And so, the woman who had once been possessed by demons became the first to proclaim the greatest news in history: He is risen. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Be sure to come back for more spine-chilling stories. Are you brave enough to face the unknown? Hit like if you love horror, subscribe for more, and comment. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. I'll ring it for you too. And if you're into horror that keeps you up at night, check out my books on Amazon, available in ebook, paperback, and hardcover. All from Mr. Lights Out, the master horror fantasy author from the Philippines. We make original stories for some scary fun. Writing and making videos helps me battle my seasonal PTSD, but once you start reading, will you be able to stop? Links in the description below. Big thanks to Lara's Horror Sound on YouTube. Subscribe, will ya? I have more stories coming your way.